is actually going to be on a serious note because a lot of the topic that I have to tell you is real serious, and so, God bless you. My presentation may take a little bit longer on this first part, but I will try to go through it quickly. But this is serious, okay? And yeah, it's serious. Okay, so somebody, in your own words, tell me what good digital citizenship means to you. Good digital citizenship. Yes, sir.
Doing stuff you're not supposed to do.
Okay, doing stuff, so that would be a bad student digital citizenship, right? So if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing online and you have no regrets, then you have good digital citizenship, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, class. So, how many of you in here have a cell phone? Raise your hand high.
If you don't,
Okay, I'm not saying that your parents have taken it away this week. You normally have one. Okay? Alright, put your hands down. How many of you in here have a social media site, whether it's Snappy Chatty or Twitter or Facebook or MySpace, Instagram? So everybody, hey, don't tell me how old I am. My MySpace is still playing music. Still hanging out. Yeah. Oh, real. So everybody in here has a social media site? Alright. We're just going to get honest. And I'm going to be honest with you too. How many of you regret at least one thing that you've posted via your social media or you sent as a text?
never forget anything.
No one letter.
Let's think about that
I ain't got
because
no worries.
I used to not have any regrets either. Let's think about this for a second. So, we all basically, 99% of us said we regretted at least one thing that we've said or posted or sent. Right? So what is your online image? Do you feel like you leave a good online image?
Yes.
So your online image is something you're proud of. What does that mean? What is the online image?
The person that you are online.
So the person that you are online. Okay, so I'm going to be real with you. Do you know that when I was putting this presentation together, I picked about 15 students, of our students, high school students, and I went to their social media site? Out of those 15 students, I probably threw up in my mouth about 12 times. Let's not call any names because this is going on the website. So let me tell you why I threw up in my mouth about 12 times. We missed you, man. We love you. So let me tell you why I threw up in my mouth 12 times. Because I may know this guy right here at school, and we have a good relationship. He's polite. He's him. I mean, we have a good relationship. But then I accessed his Facebook page. And I saw if this, if that. I saw him drinking. I saw him smoking. I saw a lot of things that really don't need to be out there for the world to see. So now when I see him at school, what kind of relationship do we have?
A bad one.
I wouldn't say it's bad. I'm not going to treat you any different, but you know what's going to go on my mind? Is I'm thinking about the pictures that he posted or the words that he said. When I was growing up, believe this or not, I know you may not believe it, I'm not that old, we didn't have cell phones. Shocker. Wasn't that long? Wasn't that long ago. But we didn't. And so I didn't really have to worry about what my online image is. I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm pretty immature like right now. Can you imagine what I was in high school?
Yeah.
dude, I was out there. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm being honest. Like, I was out there. If we would have had Facebook and Twitter and Snappy Chat and all that other stuff, I mean, I kind of would have been worried about my future. So how many people in the world do you think have a Facebook page?
A couple billion.
I saw one number one time, or somebody told me a number, it was like 500 million. We're just talking about Facebook. We're not talking about social media, we're talking about Facebook. Okay? What is 56% of 500 million?
300.
It's a lot, right? It's over half. So if we know it's over half, it's over 250 million. So let's just say it's 275 million. Okay? That sounds like a good 56%. Look at this number. 56% of social media users did not get the job that they wanted because of their site. Does that shock you any? It doesn't? It did me. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. When I was the principal at the elementary, we interviewed teachers, our staff members to come and work. Guess what I did when they left my office?
Facebook.
I checked their social media. Why would I do that?
It shows what they like, what they dislike, how they are in public.
It shows really the real person. So like, he who was viewed one way here at school, but then got on Facebook, it was almost like I was dealing with two different people. And here's what you don't really get, and I didn't really understand this, and some of you are probably going to disagree with me and say, oh, we did get that. But this stuff is forever. What you post on social media, what you post via text message is there forever. I'm the person that when I get a new text message, I delete it. Because it takes up storage on my phone. Okay, so I delete every text I get. What would happen if I was killed tomorrow and they didn't know what happened to me? What would they do? What would police do?
Take your phone.
They're going to get my phone, but I don't have any text messages on there, so what's the next step they're going to do?
Find out on your phone.
They're going to do what? They're going to go to AT&T, who I have my service through, and they're going to say, hey, we need all of Kyle Lowry's records. And guess what AT&T is going to produce for them? Every text message I've ever sent, every text message that I've ever received. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my parents reading every one that I've ever sent. But here's the crazy thing, and I don't know if you know this, and so I'm going to tell you. Do you know that all your parents have to do is make one phone call to AT&T and get every text message that you ever sent? So how easy would it be for somebody else to do that?
Pretty easy.
It is real easy.
Uh-oh.
Got a wild being at the door.
We've missed you again. We still
It sounds
love
like
you.
Get the rope ball.
So, my question is, what is your online image? Because when we started out, everybody said, oh, I've got a great online image, there's no regrets. But would you regret something if your employer, who you really wanted a job with in 6-7 years when y'all graduate from college, says, you know what, Hunter, when you were in 10th grade, you went on Facebook because I Googled your name and I found that you bullied this other person. But you would say, I did? I don't remember posting that. I thought I deleted that if I remember. Let me tell you a little story that one of the kids told me, not yesterday, but Friday. Said that he applied to be an FFA officer here at Central ISD. Mr. Reisner and Mr. Piker Googled his name, and they found an inappropriate comment which caused him not to get to be the FFA officer. and he deleted the comment after he wrote it. Mr. Piker, Mr. Reisner still found it. Your digital footprint is forever, guys. I don't care what you put on there. I don't care what picture you post. Let me tell you another little story that happened to me. And this is, I'm one of those people that's kind of like not very smart. Why are you laughing? Just kidding. Just a joke. So, I'm like not very smart, but this is what happened to me. So, the only time that I do Facebook is I post pictures of my kids. I'm proud of my kids. I love my kids. I want people to know who my kids are, which was a big mistake. A friend of mine sent me a text message and said, "Why are you trying to be friends with me again on Facebook?" I said, "Dude, I'm not trying to be friends with you. I'm already friends with you. Why would I do that again?" My account, which is private, which has nothing really but pictures of me and my family. Okay? Somebody got on there and stole the pictures of my kids and started another Facebook page. And I would have never known this if they weren't trying to be friends with my friends. So why is some creep going to go on Facebook and try to be friends, steal my kids' pictures, and start another page? I don't know either. So I messaged him. I said, "Can you please turn this off? Because apparently it's not me." And guess what the response was I got back?
What are you talking about?
This is me.
Close. It was more like F you.
Oh.
So some creep who had my kids' pictures, who I asked to cut off, basically cussed me out. And he's sitting there with my kids' pictures. And that's the furthest thing from my mind, guys, was when I started my Facebook page, was ever putting my kids in harm. Or myself, or my family. But it's happened to me. And I love technology. I love everything about it. But it's scary. Let me give you another little thing. What is actually this lady trying to do?
Erase her stuff.
How many of you have ever used that old cheap pencil that you used and tried to erase and it didn't erase anything, it just made it worse?
Yeah.
So one of the students in the last class said, "Oh, I just Googled my name and nothing popped up." I said, "Well, how many pages popped up? Did you search all 13,000 of them?" Because just because it didn't pop up on the first page doesn't mean that you're not on there somewhere. So one of the things that they even have companies out there that will go and hide your name from being online. I don't know about you, but you could pull up my name and it'll tell you where I live, my phone number, my social security number. There's everything about me online. I could pull it up on Daniel right now and find out everything about him and where he lives. This is free information. But you can actually pay a company to go and hide your stuff. Guess what they do? They hide it from the first 5,000 pages. So if you're going to search, you better go on to page 13, 14, 15, maybe 1,000,000 and find your information. That kid that got canceled from FFA, he didn't think his stuff was still there. He erased it right after he deleted it. So I never thought about these things. Look at this one. So this is a cool little footprint of social media icons. One of those is a Nike Plus. Okay? That's what I'm wearing. So this basically keeps up with my steps I take during the day. I can actually do competitions with other people around the world on, running and workouts and all kinds of different stuff. It calculates my calories, all kinds of stuff. But here's the scary thing about it. I log onto my Nike Icon app, and it will pinpoint my exact spot that I walked all day long. So today, it's going to pinpoint Miss Curry's room, and that I've walked right here all day long. And all I'm going to see is a big squiggly mark right there in that one spot. What do you think these will do? bracelet, a phone. So all of us are smart enough, hopefully, to turn our location services off, but does that really protect you?
No.
Saves you battery. I don't know about you. I use this as my GPS navigator for when I go on vacations or whatever. And I don't know if y'all have ever used this, but what happens is when you use this becomes your car. You're basically looking at a map with your phone going down the road. You ever think about how scary that is? One of the people in my last class, or not last class, but the other day said that what they did on Facebook is they would post when they go to Walmart. Hey, I'm at Walmart, I'm in the toy section. I'm getting that new Umi Zumi. Guess what happened? House got robbed. How many of you are like me and you take pictures of, I'm at the boys' basketball game. Click! Selfie! Or I go on vacation and I take pictures at the beach. I don't ever think about sending that or posting that when I get back. I'm not that intelligent. But guess what happens? We're leaving the door for our house to get robbed. It's happened. It's happened to our students. It's happened to our classmates. How many of you have heard the word catfishing? So, one of you guys want to explain to me what catfishing is, so the rest of us do know? Huh? Oh, gosh, I only know about one. So catfishing, the one that I know about, basically means that somebody acts like they're somebody else to basically either get somebody else in trouble or to bully or do whatever, okay? Think about that. Somebody went on there and stole my kid's picture. They could have done some awful bad things to me. It took me 4 months to get Facebook to take that off. Because Facebook said they couldn't believe that it wasn't me. I said, dude, I already got a Facebook page. Why would I start another one? 4 months, people, that these people had access to my kids. And probably still do. I mean, they screenshot it or whatever. I don't know. It scares me to death. And I don't say all this to scare you. I say this for you to be cautious about what you post and send via text message. Anybody have any examples that happened to them you'd like to share? Anybody? Look at that cartoon. What you get from that?
That guy's a really hot 21-year-old boy.
Does he look 21?
No.
Does he look like he's blonde-headed?
I was 40.
He's got the same receding hairline I got. How many of you on your social media site have friends that you really, or somebody has sent you a friend request and you have no idea who it is? How many of you have accepted a friend and you had no idea who it was? I've done it. Bless you, if that's a sneeze. I don't know who that was, but bless you. How do we know that that's not who that is behind that friend that we don't know who it is? We don't. We don't. So this last statement, what do I mean by your world is becoming smaller and smaller?
We're all riding around electronic stuff like that, and we're not getting bigger by talking to other people.
Okay, yeah, kind of. But what I actually meant is that social media, with it being so out there, is that what's happened is we use it to let people know what's going on in our world. We use it to communicate. We use it to keep up with other friends. I joined Facebook because I'm nosy. Why'd y'all join it? Y'all laughing, but y'all joined it too because you're nosy. You want to know what's going on in Daniel's life. Okay? But you know what happens is when Daniel keeps posting pictures and what he's doing and all these things, his world is becoming smaller and smaller because everybody and their mama knows what Daniel's doing. Shrinking. Think about what you post. Think about the words that you say. This is what I always tell our new teachers when they go through new teacher orientation is that be careful the emails that you send when you respond, because I may send Miss Curry an email and may meant nothing by it, but she took it like I was being a smart aleck. It happens all the time. You know, I guess there's email etiquette, they call it. And a lot of people say, don't type in all caps because that means you're yelling. How many of y'all have typed in all caps and you weren't meaning to yell? I do it all the time. So there's things out there that can be taken the wrong way and you have nothing, you don't mean anything by it. I've got a text message before and I've read it and I'm like, I even put my own little slang into it. You mean what? Ma'am, see? But how many of you have looked at text messages and said that? What? Are you kidding me? Did you really say that? And then you go to that person face to face and that's not anything about what they meant. That our brains take it one way. And that's not what they meant. Think about it. Think about every letter, every word that you type, because it can get you in some trouble. Somebody give me cyberbullying in your own words. Quit reading my statement up there.
Bullying.
Bullying on the internet. Is it just the internet?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Text messaging. Anything that has to do with you hiding behind a screen to do it. And let me tell you something. I have regrets. I do. There's a lot of things I've done in my life that I regret. A lot. But there's not one time, not one day that goes by that I ever want to know that I hurt somebody's feelings, and I know I've done it. And I have the perfect word for somebody that hides behind a screen to bully somebody, and they're called cowards. And I am as guilty, and I'm sitting here right now in front of you and calling myself a coward because I've done it. One of your classmates in my first period class, or second period, whatever class it was, sat over there, right over there, and said because of cyberbullying, she tried to commit suicide. Your classmate, people. This is not a big school. So I sit there and I want to question, I want to know more. I want to know exactly why we as people let words affect us so much. Because to be honest with you, I can sit here right now, and I've been out of school a long time, but I can sit here and I can see a student that said something to me in elementary school that I didn't like. I wanted to punch him in the throat, being honest. But I can visualize what his face looks like. I can visualize the clothes he's wearing, and I can tell you at intermediate school or whatever school that was, of where I was standing on the playground when he said it to me. Why do we let words affect us so much that we would want to hurt somebody else or hurt ourselves? Bueller. What's that? So essentially, yeah, I think in some ways it makes them feel better. what I see is that they think they're better than everybody else. They think the shirt they're wearing, they're too cool. Their shoes are the shoes they're supposed to be wearing. They're in athletics. They're too cool. But why do we let words affect us so much? You know, because when I was a principal, I had a lot of people talk bad about me. A lot. And I didn't really let those things affect me because I knew that was part of my job. So maybe I was more mature then, I don't know. But why this one time at elementary school with one kid saying one thing to me, can I remember that? Why do I remember that?
Because it hurts you more than what everything else that happened
See, here's the deal: is you never know what the person next to you is going through. You don't know what kind of life they live. You don't know if they go home and if the only lunch they get is the one they eat here at school. You don't know if they go home and their dad beats them. You don't know if they go home and things happen. See, we never know what people are going through, and this is one less place that they should have to worry about that. And this happens all the time. My Facebook page, it happens daily on there. Lufkin Daily News and KTRE. I almost get sick of the comment section because one person goes after another because they're doing their opinions and they're lashing out at each other. Do you know how many YouTube videos I've watched because we say, let's go meet up on a dirt road and fight? And then guess what happens? Get after it, Daniel. Go whoop him. I got you on film. I'm on YouTube it. These can be awesome tools, but these can be tools that can hurt you. Because if there was, and I don't know, Daniel, I'm just using you as an example, but let's say, okay, so there he is. So let's go out there and we'll YouTube Daniel later. So there's a video of Daniel on YouTube fighting. So, but you know what? Daniel's going to want to go out and get a job someday. And so all that person's got to do is pull up a YouTube video. Just go see Daniel break down on a dirt road somewhere. Fight. And that's not probably what he meant by that. He probably, it could have been a bullying situation. I don't know. But he didn't really want it everywhere. You know, back in my day, you could go and fight on a dirt road and that was it. You probably best friends next week. But this has caused so much more tension between kids, between students who want to commit suicide. 2 to 9 times, people. Because we let words affect us. I said it earlier. I would much rather be punched in the nose and cry like a baby. Because I hate being punched in the nose. Right, Jake? I hate it. I cry like, man, no! But I'm serious. Because that is only going to hurt for a little amount of time. Don't talk about me. That's going to affect me forever. And I don't know why it does that. But it does it to everybody. That little girl that's in your classmate that sat back there. Sweetheart. But somebody decided that they were going to pinpoint her out and call her names. To the point of where she almost wanted to take her life. And probably would have if her friend wouldn't have walked in. Think about what your online image is. Think about the legacy that you leave. Think about what you're going to do in the future when you start to sit down and type. text. These can be awesome tools, and I'm all for them. But don't get caught up in being that 56% that's not going to have a job, or you can't apply for the college that you want to go to, or some other situation arises because of something you've said or done. Don't forget what people go through on a daily basis is not the perfect situation that you may be living. Questions, comments? Anybody got any examples? Anything you want to share of things that you've seen that kind of go along with this? Nobody? Have you seen social media bullying? Have you seen text messages? How many of us have ignored it when we saw it? You know why we do that?
It's kind of like every man for
Because
himself.
if
You
you
say
step
something
in,
about
you're
it.
just thinking as low as they are.
Because you know what happens is when you do step in, what's going to start happening? They're going to lash out after you. And then you just involved yourself in something else. Think about your online image, guys. Think about the legacy that you live. I don't want to be part of that 56%. And I'm afraid, with you being raised in the digital world, you've got a lot more to worry about with the digital stuff than I did.
Yeah, but you can't take it back if you've already done it.
But there are ways that, you can't take it back, but that little girl that said that she tried to commit suicide, she said that eventually the kids wrote her via social media and said that they were sorry. But, you look at that, they even wrote her social media. They didn't have enough gall to go to her face to face and say, look, I apologize. I love playing Madden football on my PlayStation. I love it. And I am the world's worst trash talker. Fantasy football. I play fantasy football with a lot of friends of mine, and I am the world's worst trash talker. But I do not get to the point where I say something about that person. Because I don't know what they're going through. You need to stay away from comments that you make to other people and keep it to the things that are nothing that get you in a bind. And you may can't erase what you've already done, but you can stop it from happening in the future. So think about that. So let's go to a little lighter topic. Let's talk about your Chromebooks.
Ooh, yeah.
So here's the deal. We were going to roll these Chromebooks out September 1st. Do y'all got them?
Nope.
Nope, you don't. We were going to roll those out October 17th. Do you have them?
Nope.
Yep. So let me tell you why you don't have them. Okay? So we were going to roll out those Chromebooks, the Acer models that were about $199 a piece. The reason we didn't is because they released a new Chromebook that was for education. A little bit more sturdy. It can probably handle you throwing it in a backpack, and for you athletic people that run up there to throw your backpacks down and get dressed, it can probably handle that, which I don't suggest. So it's a little bit sturdier. So this is the bag that you're actually going to be getting. So here's the cool thing. You're actually the first kids in the United States, first students, that are going to be getting this Chromebook.
Fancy.
First.
Very fancy.
Okay? So I'm going to pass them around just a second, but I want to cover a few things. This is the bag that you're going to be getting. This is your Chromebook. It's white. Do I want you writing on it?
Yes.
No. Do I want you to put your pretty little sticker smiley faces on there, Jay? No. I don't. Because I don't want to have to clean those things up. This Chromebook will be yours until you leave Central ISD. Okay?
Go to DAP, it's still yours?
Great question. You better not go to DAP. All right, so here's the deal. This is your Chromebook. I'm going to show you some neat things about it.
What?
Has a nifty little handle right there.
You broke it.
Okay?
You broke that, sir.
Look at this. It boots in 3 seconds. So how many of you have used our MacBooks and get frustrated because it takes forever to upload or to sign in, and it takes forever? These boot in 3 seconds, people.
That's already better than a Mac.
3 seconds. All right. How many of you are selfie people?
No.
Click, click.
Jake.
Click, click. I mean, you know you are. You gonna post a selfie as soon as you get it. Now I know you.
I only took one selfie.
So let me show you this. Let me show you this. How about turn your camera around?
He broke it.
So you can take a selfie from this way.
Oh, yes.
See, you can get all sides of your face.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool.
Does it have a panoramic photo?
So here's the deal. So this is what I want you to remember. Everything that you do on Central ISD's computer, or any computer to be in fact, you can be seen.
Oh.
Now, I mean, we can't access your camera and watch you. What I'm saying is anything that you try to do that's inappropriate will alert us via text message. So be smart.
Say we're curious about something. If you look it up, like would you get jump footed or whatever?
So let's talk about that. How many of you have tried to log into your school email that we've provided for you? You can pass it around.
I'll mess with it because I'm in school.
Okay, so let me give you an example, Daniel. We had a student that logged into their Gmail account, which is Central ISD provided for them, which you're going to have to use that. They went to the library, got on a PC, logged in with their stuff, and they forgot to sign out. Google's smart enough to keep you signed in no matter where you are. And so guess what happened? Another student came in, sat down, sent a hate email. Guess who got in trouble? You. The person that signed in the first time and didn't log out. Because how do we prove that anybody else came in next?
Y'all supposed to have one of these kids in school watching.
We don't watch kids.
This is not
They're on record, aren't they?
I mean, they're all supposed to be watching.
But I'm not gonna sit there and watch a camera to find out what's going on.
She broke.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make you responsible. So when you get a Chromebook or you go to somewhere and you log in, you're responsible enough to sign out.
Can
we get on YouTube?
Huh?
If we're
Yeah.
doing work.
So we'll get into that. Hold your questions in just a second. So let's talk about this. Your Chromebook. You are not going to be able to access Netflix and the thing, Pandora. Dang it. So these, let's say that Miss Curry's using her MacBook back there, and she types up a paper and hits save. Where is that paper saved at?
The servers.
Huh?
The servers here in school.
It's saved on that computer right there. So if I was to take her computer, kick it, it fly out in the road, school bus hit it, and then I spit on it. That's how I roll. Okay? So, what would happen to our stuff? It's gone. So here's the deal with the Chromebooks. They're saved to the cloud.
Oh, it's almost dead.
What's the cloud mean?
Oh.
What do you mean the whole?
No one knows what the cloud is, man.
So let me explain what the cloud is. Has anybody ever used the cloud, iCloud, the cloud? You saved your stuff to the cloud. No. So let me explain the cloud to you so you understand. Each computer has their own hard drive. Okay, that's where things are stored on the computer.
Oh, it's excellent.
When you save things to the cloud, that would be Google's cloud. It is actually saved to a facility in California at Google's headquarters somewhere, maybe, I don't know, on a hard drive. Google is providing education with unlimited storage for you to store in the cloud. That cloud is actually in a facility, probably in a room like this, with a bunch of different machines that save stuff. Is it always safe? No.
Somebody could bust in there and steal a hard drive.
It's a lot easier for them to bust into our school and steal stuff than it is there, I promise. Okay? But remember, what you save in the cloud is not always safe. But remember that it's more reliable than it is for just that computer. So here's the cool thing. If Miss Curry assigns an assignment and you go to the beach this weekend, and you're hanging out on the beach and you go, I got got an assignment due Monday and I forgot my Chromebook.
Is it waterproof?
Guess what? You can access your student account right here on your phone, google.com.
Oh, so there's not gonna be any excuses.
Google.com. I love what you just said because that's what we were trying. Google.com. And you can send her that assignment by your phone, by anything. Because it's, the cloud is always there. Alright, so let's watch this video and then you can ask questions after that.
Oh, movie.
It's a video.
More and more of what you use your computer for is actually happening in the cloud. So, since people are rethinking the way they do things, we rethought the computer as the Chromebook. The always need computer. Chromebook doesn't slow down or need upgrades, so you're always using the fastest, most secure version. And you're always one click away from the best new stuff. Chat face to face, edit photos and videos, even in HD. Work together in real time. Or get down to the really important things.
Yes!
In fact, there are thousands of apps to help you get it all done, without waiting for updates, rebooting, or, well, you know, and it's fast. Chromebook boots in seconds. There's virus protection built in, and you're connected to the cloud. So your stuff is everywhere you need it to be. Safe and secure, and always right at your fingertips. You can work anywhere with your Chromebook. Online, offline, on a plane, on a train, in a tree. If you're always updated, always safe, always fast, always new, Chromebook.
So what does it mean that you can actually work offline?
While you're like traveling.
Alright, so that's the cool thing about these. Is I don't know about y'all, but I don't have Wi-Fi where I live because I live in the boondocks. Okay? But here's the cool thing. If Miss Curry sends you an email, okay, before school is out, before you leave, and you don't get it until you get home, you can actually check your email and respond to emails at home even without the internet. Alright, so listen, this is how it works. You can respond to the email. You can hit send to the email. The email will not get to her computer, to her email, until the next morning when you get under the Wi-Fi setting. But it does timestamp it of when you send it. So if you have an assignment that is due at 12 p.m. and you don't have Wi-Fi, but you hit send on the assignment at 11:58, then her email, when she gets it the next morning, will have it timestamped at 11:58. So you won't be able to search the internet when you're offline without Wi-Fi, but you can do some things with it.
Okay, so you said we're not going to be able to get on Netflix or anything like that. Even if you're at home on your own Wi-Fi, you can't like Google like Tumblr or anything like that and just scroll through. It's going to say blocked.
So that's a great question. There are actually a couple scenarios that we're looking at, and we haven't decided on which way we're going to go. I don't know if you know this, but daily, here at Central ISD, on our Wi-Fi, we have over 3,000 devices daily.
That's not mine.
Okay? That's a lot. We don't even have 3,000 people in Pollock. Okay? It's a lot of people. A lot of people on our Wi-Fi. When you start streaming Netflix and you start streaming YouTube videos and you start streaming Pandora, that slows down our Wi-Fi so bad that it's ridiculous.
Oh, it's the bandwidth.
Okay? So let me tell you what happens. We're looking at a scenario where from 7 to 5 or 7 to 4, while you're at school, that's going to be shut down. We're looking at maybe a possibility when you go home to your Wi-Fi, all of that can be accessible. Here's the deal. Whatever you do at home is still going to be filtered under our filter. So if you decide we open up social media, okay, and you go home and you do social media and then all of a sudden something is alerted to us that with that computer you sent a hate email or a hate text or a hate something on social media, you're going to be in trouble for it.
So as long as you're not doing anything bad, you can probably use it.
Probably.
Okay.
Yes, what if you're going through?
Pretty much everybody heard you.
So if you're going through Tumblr,
so.
and I mean it's a free site, they don't really filter stuff. So what if you going through Tumblr and a random picture in your feed? It's like say you type in American Horror Story, and you know you can tag anything under a photo on Tumblr. and something like that pops up, what's
So probably what's going to happen is we'll keep the filter on while you go home. So you probably won't be able to search American Horror Story. Okay, but we will access to social media and other things like that. But we're not going to allow you to be able to go home and search pornography. So that would just be letting you have a computer and giving you free will. And that's not our intention.
right?
So.
Watch out for that one right there.
Hey, I can't hear.
What if something like bad pops up and like you didn't mean for that to happen? It was like just that incident.
So what would happen if that did that at school?
It would get a red flag that comes up and it caught you.
I mean, we're going to get a red flag, but guys, listen, we're not out to get anybody in trouble in the technology department. Things are going to happen. There's YouTube videos. When I go search YouTube videos, there might be a video over here that's inappropriate. You know? It's not that I'm meaning to show that to anybody, but it happens. It depends on what you're going to use it for. If it accidentally pops up and then you click away or whatever, we'll know that. So just don't, I mean, if there's something that pops up over there, don't just, oh, wow, that's amazing. You know, I mean, don't do that. You know, I mean, just try to be smart about it. Because no matter, even if it's Central ISD computers or your own computers, people are watching. It doesn't have to be Central ISD. It can be anybody. Your stuff is there forever. It don't matter what you're doing. It don't matter what computer you're on. It's there. We talked about the cloud. We talked about offline. So those things have 9-hour battery lives. How many of you go home at nighttime and plug your phone in so you can have it tomorrow? That's what you're going to be expected to do with Chromebooks. You can look around this classroom and see there's not a lot of plugs. We're not buying plugs. It's time to be responsible, people. You got to charge them. Now, I want to address some concerns before we leave. One of the things that I've heard most often is, why is there a $25 charge for me to get a Chromebook? So let me explain that. This Chromebook right here is $315 brand new. I didn't have $315 when I was your age. That meant I had to not eat for like 2 years. Okay? It's a lot of money. This screen right here, $90. This keyboard, $50. If you break your charger off into that little port, $150. Now, we went to a lot of school districts that have released just computers to their students, and 25% of all their students had at least some kind of repair. So that's what we were basing our numbers off of. Is 25% of our students are going to need some kind of repair. Because accidents happen, right, Daniel? If I go up there and he's using that, and he has water right there, and I bump his desk because I want to help him, that water goes all over there. Guess what?
So is
That's a fee.
the $25 like your insurance on it or something?
Booyah. So $25, here's the cool thing that Mr. Nash did. If you can't afford the $25 up front, I didn't have $25 growing up. $25 meant I couldn't eat for like 2 weeks. Okay, so here's what Mr. Nash said. Mr. Nash said if you can afford $2 a week or something a week, something that's a little bit more than, you know,
Pennies.
by the end of the year, then he will let you do like a payment plan. So you can pay like $5 for 5 weeks and then you can have your $25. It is so worth it, guys, because when you get this and you carry it around like this or somebody busts it open, it's so worth it. Let me clarify one more thing before you go. If your parents said you're not taking this home, you're still going to get one while you're at Central ISD. So you're going to have to check it in and out every morning and afternoon before you go and before you leave.
What if you don't?
If you don't,
You're gonna be.
you need to check out a Central ISD. If you forgot to turn in the forms, just do it.
Mark, what if you need a new
I
one?
didn't get a farm.
Go to Miss Lamb. Love you, Jake.
That doesn't work on you?
Are you still recording?
Yes, I am.
Jake called me out like that.
So it takes up the bandwidth no matter what.